Hey guys, coming at you from week 16 of my workout. I believe I'm somewhere like 4 weeks into Shortcut to Shred. Because it is 6 days a week, I haven't really been making it 6 days every week, so I've just been kind of pushing it out, getting away with maybe 4 or 5 days a week, and then which makes it, instead of a 6 week program, it's more for me like a 7 or 8 week by the time I get done, which is okay. So I think I'm about 4 weeks in, and it's going really good. I feel really good. I weighed in this week at 159.6, which puts me probably in the best shape of my life. Pretty cool thing to be able to say. Um, 16 weeks in, it feels like a huge milestone for me. It pretty much means that I've been working out consistently 4+ days a week for the entire year: January, February, March, April, 16 weeks, with like a week or so in between that I've missed for like a vacation or whatever, which I am really happy with. You know, sometimes the grind of working out every day, every week can be a lot for people, but it pays off. And I'm finally to the point where I think I'm ready to start putting together kind of a snapshot of the last 16 weeks to show my progress. And I'm excited to really roll that out. Not only to show people what I've done, but really mostly for me. I want to see how far I've come from since day one, and I think it's going to be a vast difference. I have lost about 25+ pounds, and I'd say I'm still a couple weeks away from my ultimate goal of the 6-pack, but I'm very close, and I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep right on trucking. It might take another couple weeks, it might take another month, but good news is summer's coming, so I'm gonna have a fucking beach body like you wouldn't believe, and I'm super stoked for that. Today I want to talk about one of the things that I find incredibly annoying, which is when people that I don't know try to tell me like how to do my workout. I really don't like that, because I work very hard to sift through the bullshit of the internet to find good workouts and to make sure that I'm doing those workouts correctly and using good form. And I'm not always correct. Sometimes I am wrong, and sometimes my friends and people that I work out with will tell me, "Oh, Zach, make sure you keep your back straight, or bend your legs more, or something." And those kinds of tips I appreciate from people that I trust. But we were out at the bar the other night, and I'm talking to some guy, and some dude who's listening in is like, "Whoa, dude, you're taking in way too much protein. I heard you say you're taking in like 200+ grams of protein. That's way too much." And I just wanted to be like, "Who the fuck are you? Do I know you? Why are you listening to my conversation and telling me what I should be taking in protein wise?" I'm all for talking to people about my workouts, about my diet, and all that stuff. I love it, right? That's what fitness people do. It's kind of like vegans. It's all we talk about. But at the same time, if you're gonna come at me and start criticizing what I do right away, you better have a quick response to that question, right? Like, who the hell are you? Why are you asking me questions and poking at my workout and my diet? And I talked to the guy for a few minutes, and his theory was that he had done research that said you should take in like 0.4 grams of protein per pound of body weight, which is a theory. That's the problem with the internet, right? There are so many theories, and so much research has been done. Some people say you should take in 0.4 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Some research says you should take 3 grams of protein per pound of body weight. I don't do either of those. I land somewhere in the middle, which is, I think I'm at like 1.5, sometimes somewhere between 1.2 and 1.5, which some people will say is wrong. Other people will say is not enough, right? There's a happy medium in there somewhere. And right now, I would say I'm taking in a little more protein because I'm cutting. And some people don't understand that when you're cutting, and again, this is just the research that I've done, so you don't have to take my word for it or anything. Go look it up yourself. But the research that I've done shows that you need a little more protein when you're cutting. That suppresses your hunger. And so if you take in a little more protein, you're going to be less hungry throughout the day. you're going to be less hungry overall, and that's going to help you lose weight because the protein, I'm still working out like crazy, right? I'm doing 5-6 days a week. I'm doing heavy lifting. I'm doing cardio. My muscles still need protein to survive and make it through this cutting process. And so I need that protein, but also that protein's helping me to avoid eating more carbs and more fats. Because a lot of protein will suppress that hunger for those other things. And I still take in some carbs and some fats, and I think I'm probably guilty of not taking in enough carbs and fats, to be totally honest. I think I kind of skimp in that area sometimes, but overall, what I look at, and especially when people come at me like that and say, "Oh, you're doing it wrong. You're taking in too much protein." I ignore those comments. You know, I'll hear you out and I'll listen to your theory. But one of the things that I know is that you learn from experience. So over the last 16 weeks, I have learned how my body responds to proteins, carbs, and fats. I learned initially that that I wasn't taking in enough carbs to keep my workouts going. I was trying to do a very low carb diet for the first 8 weeks, and I really struggled. It did not work well for me. I didn't feel like I was losing weight. I didn't feel like I was getting able to complete my goals of working out and everything like that. And so I changed. I adapted to what my body needed, which was a little more carbs and maybe a little more protein and probably a little more fats. Actually, I think I was taking in a little too much of a little too less of everything. And that's the main lesson that I learned is you have to follow your body. No one can come in and say, "Oh, here's the plan for a 160 pound person." That's not how it works. You know, my body will react differently than somebody else who is 31 years old and 160 pounds and 5'8". You know, no two people are really the same in that regard. You can use generalities, but you can't rely on them. And anybody who does a 16-week workout like I've done will see that. You'll see the reaction over time, and you'll start to learn, okay, this is what I need to do in order to keep my body going, in order to continue to build muscle or at least maintain muscle while I cut. And so, yeah, anyway, a little bit of a rant there, but I really don't like it when people poke at my workout. Unless, like I said, you know what you're talking about, and it's clear that you know what you're talking about. I did go to dinner with a friend a few weeks back, and it was very clear that he knew exactly what he was talking about. He was very detailed about the diet. He was very detailed about why you take this in, why you take that in, and I actually really appreciated that because it is so hard to find good information. The internet is just so full of crap, and you have to sift through that. And so when you're able to find a good resource, I really hang on to those. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great week. I'm going to do a quick song and dance for you, and then get the fuck out of here. Bing, bing. Oh man. This makes me so happy. Look at that.